What's good YouTube, Benny here, and today I'm finally giving you my custom tactics, what I'm currently using in FIFA 21, but keep in mind this will probably change quite frequently over the next couple of weeks, especially with foot champs around the corner, because I want to try and learn and practice some different custom tactics to see actually what is best in game. This is what I'm currently using with my team on my Road to Glory and my Mega Team on my PlayStation. For rivals, squad battles, whatever it is. Sometimes I'd even put it on draft. Probably something what you lot all know me for is the custom tactics, so I finally bring you one out. So if you are new around here, don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe, or just subscribe it even if you're not new around here. Definitely helps the channel grow. But let's get into the custom tactic. So up first, I'm going to quickly explain to you what my thought process is right now really. Probably since FIFA 18, all I've done is play 4-2-3-1, so I keep it to that every year. I always start off with 4-2-3-1 and then see what goes from there. And I've got two types of tactics this year. I've got one wider and one narrow, and I'll explain to you why I have that set up when we get to them individually. So obviously we'll start off with the defensive tactic. We haven't set anything attacking and ultra attacking, it's just two tactics at the moment. But on the defensive one, we've got the wider one, which is the balance 5-4 on the defensive side, and the offensive side, we've got balance 6-5. The reason I've gone for a wider one on this one is because I'm getting the feeling that these through balls are really overpowered, and if you can trigger the runs on the wings pretty often, you might as well just wing bash, and use that whip, because it seems super hard to actually defend them. So I thought if I had my team naturally wider, I should be able to get in that position a lot more often. So that's why I've gone with the 6 on the width. The players in the box, we've got 5, is pretty standard. Obviously you can change that up however you want. That's something I will probably be trying a little bit different over the next couple of weeks, because I've never really messed around with it too much. I don't really know what my go-to is with that yet, so I'm definitely gonna mess around with that one. And then width, we got 5 and 4 on the defensive side, and that's just very standard. That's all I use basically all year. It can range between 4, 5 and 6. It all depends how I think the game's going and how maybe I'm getting at defending, but I think it might be better to have a slightly deeper line this year due to obviously these through balls I just mentioned. So keep that in mind when you're debating your depth, but I would say be careful, don't go too low, because then it's going to be super hard to press anywhere else on the pitch. You're going to be committed to playing super defensive and not being able to press them when they're passing it around, and that's actually something really hard to actually defend this year. It's like the pressing side of it just doesn't seem to be working as well in that midfield, so keep that in mind. Maybe it is safer to play a bit more secure now and then. So as you see, this is my wider one. The tactics usually stay the same all the way through. The instructions, sorry, we've got stay back while attacking on, of course, all the defenders. Main reason we've got it on the right back and left back is to make sure we're not getting wing bashed as much. Obviously, if they're on balance and they're higher up the pitch, it leaves that gap behind the fullback for that opponent to run in. So I've got stay back while attacking. Of course, it doesn't mean because you've got stay back while attacking that you're going to be set and you can actually defend them, but it's more secure. You're more stable when it comes to it. Just a quick reminder as well, because I didn't mention it actually in this video, sorry if the audio is a little bit scuffed. The PlayStation in the background is sounding like the Heathrow airport right now, man. I just don't get it. I need to clear it out. I think it's even worse with FIFA 21, so I need to clean it and see how hopefully that sorts it. But yeah, that's gonna take some time, I guess, because I don't really want to clean it and mess it up and not be able to play it on the PlayStation. But yeah, let's get back into the tactics. We've got the CDMs here: cut passing, stay back while attacking, and cover center on the right CDM. And this would be the instruction you would put on your more defensive minded player. I always say in the 4-2-3-1 or the 4-4-2, it's better to have one who's a bit more defensive and then the other one who can attack. Obviously, as the year goes on, you are looking for the people who can do it both. You can defend and attack, but at the start we don't really have much options because of the coins and just also the different cards we have. So I always try early on having one defensive and one attacking. So yeah, stay back while attacking on the right side, and then on the left side, cut passing, balance, and the attacking support and covers on the defensive behaviour. Oh no, defensive positions, not defensive behaviour. That's on the cut passing lanes. But yeah, so Dan, because he's going to obviously be my more attacking CDM, I want him to be helping in the attack, especially when people are putting people behind the ball. You need that more support in your attack, so definitely have that considered when you're picking your instructions. Just because these tactics and instructions work for me, by the way, don't expect them to work for you. Have some, I don't know what the word is, personality, I guess, when it comes to making your custom tactics. Just because it works for some pros and it might work for me and work for my mate, but it might not work for you because it's just your play style, you know, it's the way you play. You need to figure custom tactics what's going to suit your play style. So if you know you go down the wings often, maybe it's better to have a wider team. But if you play in the central, you might want to have a more narrow setup. So just have these things considered. Maybe you want different instructions for different things. So that's what I'd just give a little heads up to. On all three cams even, I think we've got everything just standard, and even on the striker we've got everything standard. That's because I haven't really experimented too much this year with them. I always feel, you know, it can go either way really when trying different things. You know, I think a lot of people last year put free roam on a cam, but why would you actually put free roam on your cam? Like, there's no actually clear reason why you would do it apart from maybe their behaviour. So obviously that's something you got to experiment this year to actually see, if I put free roam on the cam, where actually is my Neymar going to be playing? What's the positioning? You don't. For me, I wanna get to the point where I know where every player runs at every different point. If you know what I mean. Like, I want to know. Say if I'm down on the right wing, I want to know where that cam will probably be. So that's sometimes why I don't want to try and mess around with free roams or get in the box or something like that. Get in the box is good, especially with how overpowered RB square and RBX is on the R1 square and RBX is on the the load driven cross basically is right now. So maybe it could be worth getting in the box for crosses on that side. And then the striker, of course, we keep it at balance. A lot of times you saw me last year use drift wide and target man, something I need to experiment with once again. I just want to see how the game plays and how the opponents play and what type of position they get. On the ultra defensive one, we've got 5-5 and balance on the defensive setup, and that is because, you know, as I said, I work between 4, 5 and 6. It all really depends how I'm feeling and different tactics. Most of the time, if I probably go to this tactic, it's probably 0-0, or I want to just be a little bit more aggressive in the defence. So I up the depth just slightly. Only up by 1, but hopefully it helps, you know, when trying to get that ball back. And the reason I've done it on this one is because the team's a lot more tighter and I've got more players in the box. So technically my team should be more attacking and more central, more ping pong passing. So if I have my depth higher, I should be able to receive the ball a lot quicker. Defensive style, balance, 4 width and 6 players in the box. As I mentioned, we've got 2 tactics this year, 1 wider and 1 narrower. Get the best of both worlds. You know, sometimes it's nice to change it up. As I said, maybe your play style is go down the wing, but your opponent's starting to pick up that, okay, he's going down the wing often, so maybe I'll go more in the central. So maybe change your custom tactics so it's more, so your team is set up more natural in the middle. So, you know, these are the things you've got to keep doing to keep your opponents guessing and also keep you on your toes to, you know, be tactical with it. You know, you've got to be smart with it, because there's definitely a way you can win with custom tactics if you do it right. Players in the box, obviously 6, as I mentioned, more players in the box, because it's probably when I'm like, I need a goal basically, this tactic. So yeah, the player in the box with it. And then once again, instructions exactly the same, apart from that shouldn't be like that, that should be like that. Cut passing, stay back while attacking, and cover centre on the right side. Cut passing, cover centre on the left side. Very basic, you know. And I think even on the cams, yeah, in cams, strikers, all the same, literally the same instructions as the other 4-2-3-1 setup. But yeah, do you know what? I haven't mentioned why I'm using cut passing lanes really. As I just mentioned a second ago about it's super hard to press people through the middle, especially if you dribble backwards and pass it backwards and stuff like that. You can't really press them, and if you do press them, you leave a massive gap in between your lines. Or if you're getting counter attacks, a lot of times it feels like your CDMs are not there and then they're sort of walking back. I just think with cut passing lanes, it kind of makes them, one, more aggressive, because obviously they're trying to, that's their goal, they're trying to cut them lanes. If you have it on balance, obviously they might get stuck in between man mark, and man mark is obviously probably more of a passive sort of style compared to cut passing lanes, a bit more aggressive. So I was thinking, like, if I need my players to track back, if they got cut passing lanes, they're surely going to be tracking back a lot faster because of that. Does it work? Kind of. But I still think it's super hard for us to actually press on this game. So that's something obviously we got to learn and practice with. But yeah, this is probably my 4-2-3. Well, not my probably. This is my 4-2-3-1 tactics. What I'm currently using. As I said, there's going to be changes to this. I might not even play 4-2-3-1. Who knows? The game's just come out. A lot of practicing. A lot of games to be played. And we'll figure out how we want to do. This is like episode 1 of my custom tactics this year. Every week I'll do some sort of custom tactic, either if it's my custom tactics or it's a formation guide or tips and tips on a formation, whatever it may be. I'm going to bring you a weekly formation stuff because I know you guys enjoy it on my YouTube. But yeah, that's it for episode 1 of, I guess, my little series here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and peace.